take it for granted that you have had time to think about your business, you've made up your mind to go on, you've actually managed to balance your books for the period of time when you think it will be a dry run for you. Now the business begins. Okay, now, one of the most tedious thing in the life of an entrepreneur is to be asked to keep track of transactions. You know, an entrepreneur is so engaged in the business they do. It's a drudgery to tell them, oh, whenever you fuel your car, ask for the receipt. Whenever you do this, ask for this. Yeah? Now, let me explain to you why this is the case. The entire accounting infrastructure of any and all businesses, legally and in all ways, rests on something called documents of original entry.
Okay.
Documents
Of original.
of original entry. In fact, it's actually document of original entry that qualify as evidence
Okay.
in any matter where a financial transaction is being discussed.
Okay.
Documents of
Original entry.
this is where the transaction was captured at the very first time.
Okay.
You must have the discipline, the wherewithal, the commitment to always ensure that every financial transaction that you get involved in leaves behind a document of original entry. And I'm going to tell you what they are and how to handle them.
Some paper trail.
Yes.
Okay.
The first document of original entry is a receipt when you make a cash expense. That's a document of original entry. I'll tell you how they are managed in the accounting system, but please remember that. That is for money going out. The other document of original entry for money going out is what is called an invoice. Because an invoice is usually settled in cash or using a check or a transfer. Those are the two established document of original entry, although your bank statement in some context also forms an original entry, because there are very many transactions in your accounting that appear first on the bank statement, such as bank charges, payments by the equivalent of RTGS, payments that were initiated not from your desk, but were initiated from the bank. So those three documents, the cash receipt, the check and payment voucher, and the bank statement, they form the document of original entries for money leaving your organization. The document of original entry for money coming into your organization would be the receipt, the cash receipt that you give somebody who pays to you. That is for cash payments.
Yes.
The deposit slip that you make of a payment that was received via check. And again, the bank statement because of transactions that were wired to you directly. So now we have got a clarity of, first of all, what is and what is the purpose and the value of the document of original entry.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, when you have document of original entry, even if you have no accounting system, you are capable of calling an expert and telling inside that box, on one box there are receipts for everything I paid.
Yes.
On the other box there are receipts for all the money I got. Please prepare for me accounts.
Okay.
And a good accountant will be able to take those documents and prepare for you a proper set of accounts.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, the best way of handling these particular items usually is to have them in box files.
Okay.
So you file them serially from the oldest coming up to the newest, and then you serialize them with a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you probably have like 6 different box files for the 6 different things I've talked about.
Okay.
Why it is important to serialize is because the accounting system is supposed to enable you to go forwards and backwards. So when you go through into the actual books of accounts, you should be able to say, this entry I'm seeing here of 2,000 shillings is represented by a receipt number 22 in the box file of receipts for the year 2023.
Yes.
We usually do this yearly because at the end of the year we close books.
Okay.
Then we prepare accounts, something I'm going to talk about. Okay. So once you've got all your documents of original entry and you have serialized them in box files, now there's a departure point at that point in time. The departure point depends on whether you are having a manual accounting system or you are having a computer-based or digital or online accounting system. Of course, I would be very reluctant to encourage the colleagues who are on this call to start going to buy cash books and doing manual reconciliations. I will be sharing with them some of the more robust tools that are now available for running digital tools that are for running this kind of thing. Now, let's assume you're going to do this the manual way. Why I like explaining the manual way is because if you understand the manual way of accounting, you are able to understand the electronic way of accounting. In fact, a lot of accountants who came in the digital age, they struggle to understand how the transactions flow. Okay? So the first level is the books of original entry. Okay? The second level usually in a manual accounting is 2 books. One is called a petty cash book and the other one is called a cash book. The one which is called a cash book is usually for handling bank transactions. On one side, on the left side, you record the money which has come in. On the right hand side, you record the money that is leaving the company. So that is called the cash book. The bank, we don't add the word bank. By saying cash book, we know which one we mean. Okay. The petty cash book on the other side, it is the same, but we are dealing with receipts. So on one side, it will have 2 or 3 columns for showing the money coming in. On the other side, it will have 10 or 15 columns for showing the money coming in and then analyzing under what category money going out. Then analyzing under what category that money went out. So that you are able to make totals at the bottom for the next stage, which I'm going to explain. Okay. So now you have understood from the original entry documents, you now go into cash books. You go into cash books if you have gone on the manual way, and there are 2 of them. There is a bank cash book, and there's a petty cash book. Now, when you total up the summarized totals of the 2 cash books, they move you to another book now called the general ledger. Now, the general ledger, a ledger essentially is an accounting device which records all related transactions. So you'll find there's a ledger for electricity. A ledger is a page. Then there's a ledger for water. There's a ledger for... So in fact, if you made a photocopy of that page, you have the statement for water. Okay? It's called a general ledger because it receives all transactions of all types. Okay? So every month, you'll now move to the general ledger the transactions which have been summarized in your cash books. You keep posting for January, electricity is so much, like that. So the general ledger essentially is just a pile of single pages, each of them with a name at the top of a different expense or a different income column. Now, when you total up the balances at the bottom of the general ledger, okay, the figures that you get at the bottom of each, if you are to list them vertically, the ones which were on the left side, you put them on the left side. The ones on the right side, you put them on the right side. That device you get is a famous device called a trial balance.
It's getting more complex.
It will get easier as we go along.
It's called a trial
Balance.
balance.
Yes, a trial balance is just the device
Yeah.
of seeing whether you have posted it properly.
Okay.
You see,
Okay.
there are many other things you can say about it, but that was the essence.
Okay.
So when auditors come to your business to audit, the first thing they ask you is, give us the trial balance.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what they are looking for.
Yeah.
If the totals of your trial balance are not agreeing, it means
Agreeing with the.
if the total on the
On the left and the right.
on the right are not agreeing,
Okay.
it means that you did not follow something we call double entry.
Okay.
Double entry in accounting means that whatever you have is a
Yeah.
claim to it.
Okay.
So if you have 1,000 shillings, it is either yours or somebody's. You remember our famous equation?
Yeah. It reminds me.
Yeah. Well, anything you have, when somebody gains, another one loses.
Correct.
The same amount.
Yeah.
So every time a financial transaction occurs, those two things happen.
Yeah.
The left loses, the right
Yeah,
gains.
Yeah, receives, yeah.
So if you have been doing it properly, your trial balance will agree.
Okay.
If you have not been doing it properly, one side will be bigger than the other because maybe you posted one entry,
And
you didn't do
forgot.
the
Yeah.
contra entry. So when you hear another come to your office and tell you,
Yeah.
can I see a trial balance?
Mhm.
That's like what I mean.
Okay.
It is from the trial balance now that we produce the final things called accounts.
Okay.
Now those final things called accounts is a financial statement, the statement of comprehensive income
Yeah.
and the statement of comprehensive income and the balance sheet or statement of financial position.
Okay.
Now I have explained to you how things happen manually,
Yes.
so that I'm able to explain to you what steps are skipped by a computerized system.
Okay.
Now you get it.
Yes.
Okay, so the steps which a computerized system skips is a cash book and the general ledger. Those two steps are taken automatically because the system that you have has been pre-programmed with a trial balance. So you post directly from the original document's original entry
Yeah.
to the accounts which are already in the trial balance. So there's no point for having all these other things in between. Okay?
Yeah.
So now I can say something about the accounting systems themselves because here is a decision for the prospective business people here to make.
Okay.
When you have a manual system, the difficulties are myriad. It is tedious, it takes time, it is difficult to reconcile, you cannot retrieve information easily, it is physically domiciled in cabinets. So you'll find if you want the statement of a client whom you have been billing raising invoices for fees over the last 6 months, somebody has to spend the whole afternoon
Looking
trying
for
to
it.
whatever. So those are the difficulties of okay. Of course, if there's a fire, your accounting system goes up in smoke.
Yeah.
etc.
Sorry, let me just interject. You know, as you are talking, I'm trying to also think practically.
Yes.
You know, on how it is for lawyers. All these entries, perhaps I could be speaking for myself,
Yes.
are not realistically possible that you will capture everything.
Yes.
I mean, the comments you are making are geared more, sound geared more towards an expert in the accounting sector. Now, this was my story when I was starting up.
Yes.
I just had it's called the 4 choir notebook, the hard copy.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And every month I just write date 1 to date 30.
Yes.
What comes in on date 1, I note in 10 shillings. What I spend, so it was just a simple accounting system of what came in, what came out. At the end of the month, I see how much did I make. Only that.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's ideally
Let me tell you where the wheels. Let me tell you where the wheels will come off.
Okay.
At the end of the year, you will prepare accounts
Okay.
for the purpose of paying tax.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any expense that is not supported
Yeah.
by an actual document of original entry,
Yes.
when the taxman comes, he will disallow.
Okay.
Because the taxman worked with evidence.
Yes.
So if, for example, you come and tell me you have got a payroll of 50,000,
Yes.
I mean 500,000.
1,000, yeah.
As a taxman, tell you no problem.
Yeah. Give me the
Give me the list of the employees.
Okay.
Show me where they have signed for the money.
You don't have it.
You don't have it.
Oh,
You say to the taxman,
Mm.
I spent so much on petrol. He says no problem,
Yeah. Give me the
Show me the
supporting-
receipt.
Yeah.
because to him you are telling him you spent 100,000.
Yeah.
What if it was 200? What if it was 20? How does he know?
Okay.
You see, now there are some self-help mechanisms
Okay.
you can utilize for that purpose. For example, you can get a debit card. Because what a debit card does, as you are transacting in your account, it actually captures the expenditure and where you held it.
Okay.
And a debit card statement, because it is produced independently by a financial institution,
Yes.
can work as an expenditure supporting mechanism.
Okay.
If you have a car, get a fuel card.
Yes.
So you put some money in your fuel card account. Then whenever you pay at the station, you give the card. They give you a little docket to sign.
Yeah.
But there will be a statement. You see, if you have got services that can be supplied, can be given by supplier. For example, buying stationery. There is no point that every day you are rushing downstairs to go and buy one rule pad.
Yeah.
Talk to a stationery supplier.
Yeah.
Tell him to give you an account, and then they give you a statement,
Yeah.
so that when you post your stationery expense, it is there.
Okay.
Try as much as possible to pay for your expenses by check,
Okay.
because a check is a self-supporting device.
Okay.
So if you alter your lifestyle money-wise just a little,
Yeah.
you see,
Yeah.
when you go to the restaurant to entertain your friends,
Yeah.
and you want to capture that as a business expense,
Yeah.
pay with your credit card, and you'll be able to capture that as entertainment. So if you have got entertainment bills of 100,000,
Correct.
they will save you a tax expense of 30,000.
Yeah.
That is 30,000 you just saved.
Saved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So always think about that, because at the end of the day, your business is accountable to the government.
Yeah.
You account to the government by way of taxation. The language the government understands is,
Yeah.
show me the proof,
Yeah. Documentation.
show me the evidence.
Then it generally sounds like there is a special place for discipline. You
In
know-
not just in the law practice. As long as you see when you are working in a law firm, there are some other people who are handling these things that you don't even think about them. You see, there are accountants in the background, there are administrators who are handling this thing. But you see, now on this occasion, you are everything. The farm is yours, the business is yours.
Yeah.
You see, so those four things I talked about, it's your responsibility to deal with all four of them. Otherwise, you are building minefields for yourself.
Yeah.
You see. Now, so much for manual. May I cross over now to computer based?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The progression in information processing, at least in the banking system, the way we've seen it, it moved from manual devices, manual papers, manual cards. We went into machines, what we used to call Barrow's machines. Then we went into what were called computer mainframes. There were big computers that used to be in the back room. You probably had that expression of people who say they work in the machine room. It was literally a machine room.
Machine room. Okay.
You see. Then we came into something called mini computers, which instead of having one big server in the head office, you could have mini computers in branches. Then we came to the era of what is called desktops.
Yeah.
Computers that used to have a little box and then a monitor on top and a keyboard on the side.
Yeah.
Then we progress now to the age of laptops,
Okay.
which are portable and all. The common characteristics of all these things I've mentioned is that they all store the information in them. The laptop stored its information in it.
Yes.
The mini computer stored its information into it, etc.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, where we are at now, and where I hope our colleagues on this call will be thinking, is where information is stored remotely.
Okay.
Nearly everybody here has a Gmail account. Do you have an idea where your mail is stored? but you're happy with it.
Yeah, as long as you can access it, that's it.
And it works very well. So now what we have now in accounting is what we call hosted systems.
Okay.
Hosted systems is where you set up the equivalent of a Gmail account,
Yeah.
and then you just go in there and do your work. You pay a little money.
Yeah.
One of the most common applications for doing accounting is called QuickBooks. Virtually everybody has heard of the word QuickBooks for small businesses.
Yeah.
Okay. There's even QuickBooks for law firms.
Okay.
There's an adaptation of QuickBooks for law firms.
Okay.
Okay. Now there's what we call QuickBooks Online.
Okay.
The earlier one, you would install it in any one of the many devices I've described.
Yes.
The current version now, or the current enhancement where we are at,
Yes.
is where you don't need anything at all. You just need to have access to the internet.
Okay.
Then you set up an account which you pay like 1,000 shillings a month.
Okay.
You don't need networks.
You don't need to
just
hire an accountant
nothing.
in. Okay.
Now, you see, some of these systems are built in such a way that you can post the things yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
You see, maybe you might need an accountant at the end of the year
Yes.
to come and present for you your accounts in the statutory format. But for the purpose of knowing how much you have spent,
Yeah.
and how much you have gained, you
Yes.
can actually do it for yourself. But knowing the discipline of entrepreneurs, please allocate that work to somebody, even if it is somebody who comes once a week and does it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I can see someone here saying,
Yes.
this is Miss W.
Yes.
From my little experience, it is possible to capture all the accounting information. Every employee in the firm should have a task regarding the firm's business.
Yes.
The administrator controls the books,
Yes.
but the employees need to fill out the books whenever monies are involved.
Yes.
Money in and money out can easily be recorded when people in the firm understand the importance of accounting data.
Exactly.
And I agree with her, because sometimes you just want the petty cash
Yes.
filled,
Yes.
and you have a look at it.
But now, that is excellent. But let us continue her sentence by saying her sentence. We continue her sentence by saying you must now create gatekeepers. Let me explain what we mean by gatekeepers.
Yeah.
You say to a staff, okay,
Yes.
here is your petty cash for the day. Okay,
Correct.
until you bring me the accounting report for this one, you will get another one.
Okay. So there has to be an accounting report for the
There must be something that forces that person
Yes. To follow up.
to do that. You see, when I did my first work in Price Waterhouse,
Yeah.
we were given a device called a timesheet. It was a 1 week broken into half an hour, half an hour, half an hour, half an hour. So you are supposed to indicate every half hour which client you are working on,
Okay. It's a
so
timesheet.
that the firm is able to bill
Yes.
clients using hours.
Okay.
Now there was a caveat: you don't bring your timesheet,
Yeah.
there is no salary.
Oh yeah, you didn't work.
So there was
It's a
a
mechanism.
Yeah. So there must be a self-regulating mechanism
Okay.
that forces that comment is excellent.
Yes.
If we just add on to it a self-controlling
Yeah,
mechanism.
Okay.
Like, by the way, even law firms,
Yes.
a timesheet is a perfect device for you to create, if you can actually think about it,
Okay.
because you bill on time.
Yes.
You have got 10 advocates spending 8 hours a day, 5 days a week,
Yes.
4 weeks a month.
Yes.
Those number of hours should actually be replicated onto invoices
Yeah.
to customers.
Correct.
Because you see, you remunerate them for every hour they were in your premises. Then you must simultaneously have billed somebody for that time. You follow me on that?
Yes. Yes.
So the point I was saying is, look out. There are very many online systems available for managing finances in law firms.
Okay.
There are very many. They are all over the place.
Okay. Okay.
Please don't push yourself into cash books,
Okay.
having computers. I mean, if like you see, like my laptop here,
Yeah.
it does not have Microsoft Word, does not have Excel, it does not have nothing.
How do you type?
This device just has a keyboard for accessing the internet. Even the material that I am sharing here
Yes.
is not actually on this computer.
But I think you'll also agree with me that, I mean, some of these nitty-gritties, the
Yes.
finer details,
Yes.
are easily applicable in bigger firms,
Maybe that is true, but ask yourself, how come when everybody uses Gmail? Gmail is not on your computer.
Okay.
The same way you use Gmail is the same way you can have all your legal files online.
Okay.
When you are in court and you want to look at a particular file, you look at it in court. You don't have somebody taking a border to rush the file to you. This thing is actually a decision.
Yeah.
You see, when you change the way you see things, the things you see change.
Okay.
That's very important.
Yeah.
If you, for example, you say, from this moment on, I'll be an online person accessible to all my tools all the time.
Okay.
Everything you see, you'll be seeing it with that lens. And you'll be seeing, how can I do this thing from an online perspective.
Okay.
You see,
Yes.
the skill of working digitally is a universal cross-cutting skill required in whatever undertaking, whatever work you are doing, whatever profession you are in. And those people who will master it in whatever profession they are in will always be ahead of the other. In 1980, Bill Gates wrote a book called Business at the Speed of Thought.
Okay.
And the core thesis of that book was that the business of the future will compete in the turnaround.
Okay.
From when the customer makes contact with you to when you put the check in the bank.
Okay.
The businesses that shorten that
Yes.
will be the ones that will be ahead of the others.
Okay.
You see?
The turnaround time.
Turnaround time. Now, that adage, that thesis
Yes.
from Bill Gates, it is still applicable today. Because the law firm that has got everything online and accessible,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
When your clients call you for an update, in fact, your clients don't even call you actually, you give them a password. So those hours that you are spending talking to them on the phone, you don't even spend them.
They can easily just access it.
Yeah.